Assalamu alaikum, my name is Shakib Osman, and in this video I'm going to demonstrate how to install Windows Server 2016 in your personal computers. First of all, we must download the Windows Server 2016 ISO file, and then we must add Hyper-V Manager. The Hyper-V Manager will allow us to install virtual machines in our Windows 10 computers. So we use a browser like I used Google Chrome, and we will type download Windows Server 2016, and this result will come. We will click this link. That link will open this page, the official website of Microsoft.com, where we can download Windows Server 2016 evaluation version. We must choose the ISO file. It will be available for 180 days. By clicking continue, it will ask for some information like your username and the name for your name, your email and password and all that. I've already downloaded this. The next step is to add the Hyper-V Manager, and to add Hyper-V Manager we go to Control Panel, we go to Programs and Features, and then turn Windows features on or off. In here we will find the Hyper-V Manager. We will check this checkbox. I've already installed this feature, so it's already checked. You will check it. All of these checkbox will be checked as well, and then you will click OK. It will install and require a restart. After restarting your computer, you can access the Hyper-V Manager by going to Start menu and typing Hyper-V. You can find it in here, or by using WinKey R and opening Run, and in here writing virt mgmt.msc. Both ways will open this window. Here will appear the name of your computer. This is the name of my computer, and these are all the virtual machines that I previously created. This part of this window will be empty in your computer when you recently installed the Hyper-V Manager. And to do the next steps, the second step, create virtual hard disk and a virtual machine. We must click on the name of our computer and then go to new, and in here we can choose the new virtual machine, or we can come to here, new, we can click it, and then in here choose the virtual machine. Both of them will create a new virtual machine for us, and both of them will open this window. In here, in this text box, we can give a name to our virtual machine. Like I will give it a name like when networking with Windows Server 2016. The default behavior of Hyper-V Manager will be that it will store all the VMs on C drive and documents on a folder named VMs. But I've changed its default behavior. Is going to store it on drive D, a folder named Hyper-V. If you wanna don't store this VM on your C drive, you can check this checkbox and browse to everywhere that you want to install this VM. This is okay in my case, so I will click next. We should choose the second generation. The first generation is for legacy operating systems. We will choose next, and here we will specify the amount of memory, and we want it to be a dynamic memory. We can click next, and then we should connect our virtual machine to default switch. I created a lot of other virtual switches, but you must make sure that you're selecting the default switch. Is by default created, and it will appear in every single machine. By choosing default switch, we will click next. Default switch is a virtual switch, and in here we can create the virtual hard disk. We created our VM. Now we are creating our VHD. We can rename it in here. We can give it any name we want. This is okay for me. You can change it. We can give this virtual hard disk a size, like I want to give it 25 GB of size, and then this is the path that this virtual hard disk will be created and stored in. We will click next, and in this page we can choose our ISO file. I want to choose it right now. This is the operating system, the ISO file that I downloaded. We will click open. I suggest you to read all this information before clicking next. I've gone through every single one of them. It's very good to read all this information. They are very good. Then we click next. We choose the ISO file I downloaded, and here is a brief information. I again suggest you to go through all this information and then finish. Now it created our VM and VHD. The next step is to run the virtual machine and install Windows Server 2016. So here is our virtual machine. We will connect it. By selecting connect, this window will appear which belong to our virtual machine, and then we can start it from here, or we can go to actions and click start in here. We have this icon as well that will start this virtual machine. Any one of these three will work the same. It will start the virtual machine, then we must press a key, enter. We will press a key to use the ISO file to install Windows Server 2016. I want to make it full screen, so we go to view and full screen mode. Here is the Windows Server 2016. This is okay in my case, and next and install. Here is the different options and the two versions of Windows Server 2016 that we have. Here is the standard version and the data center version, and the two options that we have. This is the server core option of Windows Server, and this is the GUI of Windows Server 2016. The graphic, this one will has a graphical user interface. I want to install the Data Center Edition because it has all the features and options and services. And I want it to be GUI. It should has a graphical user interface. So the desktop experience means that we want it to be graphical. We make sure that we choose Windows Server 2016 Data Center Edition and the desktop experience option, and then we click next. Here's the EULA end user license agreement. We should agree to it, and then we click next. Previously there wasn't any operating system installed in this VHDX. We are totally new, so we can't upgrade. We can use the clean installation, with the second option, the blue one. We click it, and here is our VHD to 25 GB. We don't want to make any partition. We want only the C drive, and it will create the system partition itself automatically. We click next, and the installation will start. It will take a while. I want to pause the video and come back when the installation is done. When the installation is done, it will restart the computer, and then it will ask us for entering a username and a password. The username by default will be administrator. It's not changeable, but we can add our password. It took roughly 6.5 minutes for me to install Windows Server 2016 and restart this virtual machine. After restarting the virtual machine, this will appear and it will want us to enter a password. The username will be administrator. As you can see it in here, it's great, we cannot change it. I will put my password and re-enter it in here and then finish. Here we should press the Ctrl Alt Delete. We can use this icon to enter Ctrl Alt Delete instead of using my keyboard. So I will press it and go full screen again. I will enter here the password that I entered just now. I will go full screen again. This taskbar will disappear after a few minutes. When I go full screen again, it will disappear. Here is our Windows Server 2016. We don't want to we want to allow it. I want to change the resolution, so we will click on the screen and then choose display settings, and in here in display we choose advanced display setting, and here is the resolution. The resolution of my computer is 1366 by 768. I will apply it and I will say keep the changes. Sorry for this behavior of my computer, this showing my taskbar in here, it will not appear in your computer. This is Windows Server 2016, and this is the server manager where we will manage all of our server computers from this single central place.